Hello, welcome to October 2023. Can't believe it. This is our Blooming Grounded Dreamers monthly challenge. So this month for October, we're going to continue from last month, which was about sensing, being in your sensory experience. And this month we're going to go into opening your mind with some specific practices. Yeah. So open your mind challenge. All right, Angela.
Okay. Do you want to share any experience you had with the last month's challenge, or I have one?
Yeah, sure. I will share. I mean, last month, tuning into my senses, sense of sight, touch, smell, taste, sound, right? Our sensory experience, and then our sixth sense, our intuition, really allowed for me to recognize how my senses are always there receiving information from my environment. They're just always there doing their job. And my nervous system and my chakra system are metabolizing the information. And what I really worked on this month was simply being with the information for what it was and separating that from doing any kind of story making or creating. Was it easy? No. Boy, did I see how taking in, receiving sensory experience, direct line to creating a narrative. And so I really got very skilled this month at segmenting out the sensory experiences that were happening from what my mind was doing with them and making up story. And then also really honoring when I felt like I was getting, just honoring my body and just honoring my needs. So when I felt like I was getting just like too much coming in, I was like, okay, I'm getting too much coming into my sensory experience. I need to regulate that. I need to meditate more. I need to rest more. So just bringing my awareness to all of that, really, I'm always doing that. I'm that which is aware. And I brought that into this practice this month. I'm that which is aware of my taste, of my sight, of my smell. I just really worked on that awareness. And it was really, honestly, it allowed for a breakthrough on so many levels of performance. Because I was taking in through my senses and then just kind of letting it get to a point of overwhelm, I think, as a habit. And I really broke that habit this month, I think. So yeah, thank you for asking. That's what I want to share.
That's really good. You're right. We do sort of unconsciously, we are like sponges. We take in all the energies around us and, comments that we hear, sensations that we feel. If it's too cold, we take it all in, and sometimes we don't really, like, it's too cold, we put on a coat and then we forget about the cold. Right? That kind of a we want to skip over, but it's true. Your practice of sort of stopping yourself and being able to be with that, even if it's just 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. It only takes 5, really. 3, exactly.
Yeah, I had the same sort of experience I was telling you earlier too, where I was working really intensely and forgetting to breathe. And that's why I'm just reading this week with the reading that we recorded for pause. That breath card just struck me, because I hold my breath when I'm working hard and thinking too hard. It's almost like I'm just this brain floating around without a body, and that's where I'm living, is up in that brain, and I've had to, remind myself, be in your body while you're working, your body's here too. Breathe air into it. And I had to stop myself so many times. I've had an intense couple weeks with work, and just that moment of, okay, get oxygen into your lungs and your diaphragm, and then clear out. Yeah, it really helped. That was my biggest the biggest noticeable phase of that, is just that presence and the feeling of the breath going in and out.
Yeah. And, I just got an insight from the breath card too, right? We're breathing in oxygen and we're releasing carbon dioxide into the environment. And the forest card for breath is helping to transmute that literally through that cycle of breathing. We're changing our environment. We're changing our world. I love that reminder right there.
Yeah, that's where that was
so
perfect.
Awesome.
So now we have, hopefully, So we're in bodies and in spirit that is a little more aware, right,
Yeah.
of our
Yeah.
surroundings. So now here we are. For October, the soul challenge is opening my mind.
Mm.
I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. This one is, taking it all a step further, right? First of all, accepting what is through the sense work that we did last month. Now we have this platform or this foundation that we can move, into our next phase of growth with, using an open mind. So this is for those judgments that come right away, self-judgment, judgment of others, the fear of risk, trying on something new, listening to another person's story that's very different from ours. And I'm not sure in some beings in some humans, they have this thing that is defensive, and we all do it, but defensive, and they exclude another from their reality because they don't live the reality the same way they do. And this is an opportunity to sort of smooth that boundary a little bit. I pulled on the right side, the internal energy that goes along with an open mind. I pulled suppression. I mean, the left side, sorry. That is something internal within you. The more you, dismiss or judge or believe something that is, this is my belief and I'm not going to change it, right? About something that is different from the way you choose to live, you're holding energy within you. You're not helping anything by, acting like it doesn't exist, or fighting against it, or judging it and deciding they're wrong, I'm right. That's not helping. It may feel in your mind and in your ego that it satisfies some sort of dissonance, but it's not helping your entire being. It's not helping at all. And you're keeping that resistant energy within you.
Yeah.
So our remedy to that, and the step to take, is to be more aware of when you can open your mind. Just reflect on your life and where you are open about things and where you resist. And the parts that you resist, that's where the work needs to be done, right? That's where the relaxing should happen. And I got going with the flow, which is, had that ocean card in the pause reading too. It's a time of just being with what is and letting the energy move you toward it. Having an open mind is going with the flow. It absolutely is. And then the final card I got was abundance. And this is that state of gratitude and that focus on those things that are going well in your life and the richness in your life that start to become more crystallized as you work, as you remain open. It's like, oh yeah, look at, and then more abundance comes, right? And then I just had, to sort of make the challenge a little more concrete. It's just a calling to maybe journal, opportunities. Like every morning when you wake up, just commit to one new experience or one, state of open-mindedness when you're out in public, at work, with your family, whatever, I don't know, like if you have, I'm just thinking in terms of like in your family, if you have maybe a family member that, I don't know, likes to cook and use a lot of butter. I'm just throwing this out. It's coming out of nowhere. And you're really conscious about your butter intake and you think, oh, that's not going to help my arteries. But that person is choosing, right, to cook with a lot of butter, and it doesn't, you don't have to cook with a lot of butter yourself, but allow that person the space and the room to be in their own choices. I made that very trivial on purpose because we could go deeper, but
it's actually a very deep thing to think about butter for people who struggle with fat and eating disorders. It's actually a very profound example.
It's trivial to me because I'm moderate with my butter use.
Yeah, but it's a very important example, and it's about really being open and really not making other people wrong, or not making yourself right over someone else being wrong, and really noticing or making yourself wrong, that whole thing, and just being open. I love, it's actually an important example. And I also want to add too, like, this is really about transcending what I used to talk about, scarcity matrix all the time. That trap of having a closed mind, suppressing all of our feelings, trying to just do more and more to get more and more, to get out of this inner prison. And really, it's really about opening our minds, going with the flow. And that is really about, not suppressing and allowing for abundance.
Those pretty much say it all right there.
Exactly. And those are the things. So notice the suppression, be in the ebb and flow. And that's what we're opening up to, which is abundance. That's the challenge this month. That's the little journey. Okay, beautiful. Did you want to add anything else before we end?
Just that maybe if you want to sort of record your instances, take it a step further. Last month we just experienced the senses. Now it would be nice to sort of record those opportunities to flip your closed mind and open it up and be accepting of what is. So down maybe a little list or whatever. It doesn't have to be a novel, but make notes so that you could see your progress.
Field notes.
Yes, field notes.
All right. Thank you.